From a 42-foot building to a 56-foot building.
This far from the next door neighbor, it's just offensive.
You see yardsticks here.
I have found the courage to speak up.
By the way I drove here, I wasn't bussed.
Small buildings, low buildings.
There's poop on the stairs again.
It is quaint. It is not gargantuan.
Good afternoon. I think we're going to get started. Welcome, actually, our two new Planning Commission members. First, Nick Magrino and Sam Rockwell to my left. Commissioner Rockwell.
Question for staff. Actually, I can't get my thing to stand up here.
I'm here to present a project at 4264 Upton Avenue South. It's a 4-story mixed-use building.
The planner for this project erred when she gave her presentation and when she said that the Linden Hill Small Area Plan allows 3 and 4 stories. It says 3 or 4 stories, and that word "or" is really important. And that one word has been used to basically take this small area plan and beat us up with it and use it against us.
Here are a few photos of the existing site showing the famous Dave's building and the parking lot. We're calling this 55 feet, 11 inches.
Good evening. My name is Clark Gasson. I live at 3337 Eldorado Trail in Minnetonka. I built the Edgewater building on Lake Calhoun, also completed the walkway in Uptown recently. We did not acquire any of the other properties around this. We only acquired the famous Dave site. We wanted to create a smaller development and not have so much mass.
And try to be succinct in your comments. Please state your name and address.
Larry Levercombe, it's nice to see you. I want to talk about democracy. Democracy was created as a response to feudalism and kingship. So 3 years ago, the neighborhood of Linden Hills was urged to write a small area plan. And if you haven't recently revisited the speech given in these chambers 2 years ago, 3 years by your colleague Gary Schiff,
7 years ago,
I suggest that you look at it again. It can be found at GarySchiffSpeech.com.
Linden Hills is very special. It's very unique. And the volume of emails that we have received, some might say is NIMBYism, but I say it means that this is an engaged community. This is a community that loves the existing character. This is why you live there. This is why you're here today. This is why you followed the process for so long, and you don't want to see the essential character of the neighborhood change this drastically.
And here's the gist of it. Number one, that it's wrong to make an end run around the zoning code. And number two, and this is his quote, they don't want to forever alter the character of their home.
and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
We did it to take part in our democracy and to write a small area plan, and at the very last minute, the plan was radically changed, and it was changed because we were lied to.
I know that with Famous Dave's, it's just been, I don't know, a couple of toilets, but put this thing in and it's going to be 50 or so toilets flushing.
What went into designing the bathrooms? We want to be proud. We want people to say, wow, look at that. That is quintessential Linden Hills. This is kind of how we feel in Linden Hills. You know, we have that kind of pride. It's the gateway to our neighborhood.
My name is Constance Pepin, and I'm really sad to be here. No way. No way. That's not what the neighborhood wants. Neighborhood wants is a maximum 42 feet, 3-story building.
I hope that there's a voice of reason here somewhere before we CUP the hell out of Minneapolis.
My big concern is the traffic. If we increase our traffic and the construction traffic on Upton, I don't know what's going to happen to those kids. There's a lot of kids that are running by. So when the big trucks come by and they come be damned.
Neighbors be damned.
The trucks are just not going to fit down Upton with the cars parked there. They're going to squish a kid. They're going to squish a biker.
Okay. They say regulatory recent project-based context regarding building height. The regulatory framework of recent building examples indicate the desired levels of density are achievable at 3 stories. This is from page 50 in the small area plan. I know it's difficult to go through all this information, all this material. However, that's what it says.
What the small area plan says on page 10 is this plan is recommending changes to land use intensity in 2 areas along the 44th Street and 1 along France Avenue. And then it goes on to say this recommendation is responsive to the Minneapolis Comprehensive Plan for increasing density to existing development types of the area and provides the opportunity for additional housing options in Lynn Hill. And that's page 10.
And I think that's the end of that.
You will actually harm all of the community members that have worked so hard to make this little downtown what it is. And you will set a terrible precedent that will also do more damage to our neighborhood and to many other neighborhoods in Minneapolis, and about honoring what the people of our neighborhood really want.
Thank you for your comments. Commissioners?
No, before I go on to that, I want to say this, that democracy doesn't work when people are lied to. A larger building than the one that our democracy and our democratically organized community said okay to. A small area plan that was coerced and based on a lie.
Is there anybody else that would like to come up and speak?
I live diagonally across from one of the historic landmarks in Linden Hills called the Linden Hills Library, and have very much enjoyed the ambiance of that street. Bikers, walkers, strollers, canes, handicap vehicles, and a lot of dogs.
People that live in the neighborhood there, they pay a lot of money to live in Linden Hills, and I think that you need to look at that.
I'm one of 5 generations that has lived in Linden Hills on that corner since 1912.
It's completely claustrophobic. I don't know, A, how it's sellable, and I'm afraid it starts somewhat of an arms race. What's going to be built next to it to overcome, and now you have height, and you have height, and you have height, and now you've got a very narrow space to work with. So,
is there anybody else that would like to speak on this item?
Neil Barnes, I live at 4316 Abbott. I'm a proud renter. I think I might be the only renter here. And I just want my ribs back. I'm just riding my bicycle down and getting some ribs for the family, right? Interesting study. Who doesn't know the Northrop King building? Anybody, raise of hands, because that was a missed question. Raise of hands, how many been there? I think it was, I can't recall her name, but her father owned that complex. There's the adjacent building. What's the intent for that? Oh, I'm just hoping for the rates to come down so I can afford a studio in it.
Maybe just specifically ask the question.
And how will it be lit at night? I think nighttime. She's like, Dad, give me a shot. Nighttime is.
I would just ask the questions, and if the applicant wants to
how
come
will
back
it be
up
lit
and
at
speak,
night?
then he can.
I'd love to see, and you may not have renderings here now.
It's not supporting and enhancing the existing scale and character. That's not happening in this proposal. It's crushing the existing scale and character. It's basically crushing the small area plan. Anybody to say that this Linden Hill small area plan that I have with me and that I was there for every meeting, it's wrong to say that we ever agreed to a 4-story building in a C1 zone. And to say that 3 and 4 stories are allowed anywhere based on our plan is false. It's wrong, and it's deceptive, and it's misleading, and it makes me very angry, as you can tell.
Does somebody want to make a motion?
But I'll start us off by making a motion that we deny the conditional use permit for height.
Thank you. Commissioner Bender. Clerk, please call roll for approval of item D, site plan review.
Bender? Aye. Forney?
No.
Gisselman?
No.
Kronzer?
Aye.
Magrino?
Aye.
Rockwell?
Aye.
4 yeses, 2 nos.
Unless there's anything else, we will adjourn. The next regular meeting of the Minneapolis City Planning Commission is September 21st, 2015.
I think it's a beautiful building, but not in Linden Hills.
They basically want to recreate this neighborhood, this node, in their own vision. And the neighborhood doesn't want that.
Hoping that you'll decide whatever you think is right for our lives.
I know once you get down certain levels, you're going to hit water, and there's shock waves with the pilings that can go in. lot of people put a lot of time, effort, and money into that, and I think it's completely disrespectful.
That ambiance and character is fostered by the environment that we currently have.
The comparison with the previous projects was brought up. And we see how, oh, this is a much smaller one. This is pretty reasonable, isn't it? You just approved a 4-story building there a while ago.
The small area plan and all of our time and energy that's gone into this.
And there's no effort here to reduce the visual impact, preserve the historic and small-scale, human-scale feeling of our downtown business district. It feels like I'm living in a different world. They haven't gone for shorter than the maximum allowed. It's supposed to be a maximum of 3 stories and 42 feet. So please deny the variances. Their sunlight will be compromised. They won't have morning sunlight.
Family and friends from other parts of the country and even other parts of the world, because Linden Hills is so sweet. We brought everyone here to see you and to see this great little shopping district, which will forever be altered with a building of this size. There's still no building this big at the corner of Uptown, Hennepin, and Lake.
Thank you for your comments.
Please spend some time in our neighborhood to find out why we choose to live there, and we pay a big price for that.
Thank you for your comments.
I guess I want to ask again if any of you have physically been to that corner and stood there and looked at what this means to the loss of space and light. This might sound silly because it could seem like I'm making it up. When customers come in and they ask what's going on that corner, give them the latest information that we're now facing another proposed 4-story, 56-foot building. Not making it up. Everybody shakes their head in disbelief.
Destroy the character of our neighborhoods. Almost 400 people have signed a petition about this. They listen to the community.
As it's designed today, the wall of the 3rd floor, the wall of the 4th floor is 10 feet east of that.
Understood.
This is the first time my drawing's been up on the screen in the foyer.
And probably the last.
Hopefully.